Hey, I have a question. So, I found some awesome sources on the history of recycling. One in particular was perfect, but when I showed it to my professor, he said it wasn't appropriate for my research. What gives? Do you see anything wrong with this?
Exactly. I mean, this dentist could know a lot about recycling in frontier America, but his credentials on their own don't help us trust him. Combine that with the fact that this isn't from a scholarly, peer-reviewed journal, but from a self-published website, and this author's credentials aren't looking too good. So here's the deal. You need to think about the sources you find and evaluate them before using them in your research. Here are 3 criteria to help you out. Number 1. Reliability. This has 2 parts. Is the author an expert in the field? Is the publication respected? Most works in a scholarly, peer-reviewed journal will pass the reliability test. Most of the time, so will internet sites from government offices or from universities. However, many popular magazines or common internet sites like Wikipedia will not. Number 2. Timeliness. Is the source recent enough to contain the most up-to-date information? This is important whenever recent information has affected the topic you're researching. Science and medicine are good examples. An article written about global warming in 1991 might not contain up-to-date information and would probably not be appropriate to use in your research. However, if you're researching attitudes about global warming in late 20th century America, this could be a fine source to use. Number 3. Context. Does the source really address your research question? Remember the limiters you selected in Module 1? If the source's time period, population, or geography does not match what you're researching, then you need to think twice before using it. Your students have found a few sources. Help them determine whether each one is appropriate for their research. Now let's look at a couple of sources for Zach's topic, how do reality shows benefit society? Now let's take a look at 2 of Ellie's sources. Remember, her topic is, what are the voting tendencies of African Americans? Good job! Remember, always think about your sources before you use them in your research. Consider the reliability. Is the author an expert in the field and is the publication respected? Also, think about timeliness. Is the source recent enough to contain up-to-date information? And think about context. Does the source address the time period, population, and geography you're researching? Finally, when you do find a good source, remember to record it in your research log and export it to RefWorks.